True statement about Belleville spring. These are compound of coiled disc which may be stacked up to obtain variety of load definitely characteristics. Angle of twist of shaft is inversely proportional to shaft diameter of 4 per 4. For a shaft subjected to torque T bending moment M, the equivalent twisting moment is M square plus T square under root. A shaft subject to combined bending and torsion can be designed by following stress theory: maximum normal stress theory. The maximum shear stress induced in a shaft subjected to shear stress SS and bending stress ST will be root of S square plus ST square by 4. Which is correct statement? Cold rolling produces a stronger shaft than hot rolling. Stretching is a belt can be controlled by reducing stress in the bolt. In a horizontal flat belt drive is customary to use top side of the belt as the slack side. Centrifugal tension is belt reduces power transmission. Maximum horsepower is transmitted by belt drives when its velocity is such that tight side during side driving tension in belt is equal to 2 into centrifugal tension. If F1 F2 be the tight and slack the tension is belt, the initial tension will be equal to root of F1 plus root of F2 whole square by 2. F1, F2, Fc tight side, slack side, centrifugal tension, belt, coefficient of friction between belt pulley and angle of contact, then F1 minus Fc by F2 is equal to E mu 2. In a V-belt drive, the belt makes contact at sides of the groove of pulley. If Fg/W represent the tension acceleration due to gravity and mass per unit length of belt respectively, the maximum permissible speed belt is given by root of Fg by 3W. In the above probabilistic belt drive can't transmit any power at speed of root of Fg by W. The standard angle between the side of V belt is 40 degrees. Replacing the V belt, complete set of belt is used instead of replacing single damaged belt. The new belt would carry more than the share and would have short life. A chain drive is used for distance is no creation for chain drive. For chain drive to have variation of speed less than 1%, minimum number of teeth in the small sprocket should be 17. It is usually preferable in chain drive. It is used odd number of teeth on sprocket. Following type of chain is used in motorcycle is a bush roller. Silent chain is made up of inverted both overlapping sinks. In designation 6 by 19 wire rope 6 and 19 respectively stand for number of strands and number of wires. Which of the following ropes will be most flexible? 6 by 37. Which is correct statement about flexibility and endurance of rope? Lang rope is more flexible and endurance than regular rope. Which is correct statement about drums and staves used wire rope installation? Use larger size drum with grooves, the pitch of grooves being more than the wide rope diameter. The working load for a chain for crane applications is expressed in terms of diameter of link day in centimeter for P is equal 500 D square. Wire ropes are used for applications experiencing low speeds and high tension. The friction moment in a clutches with the assumption of uniform wear as compared to uniform pressure is less. For maximum HP transmission by belt drive, 33% of maximum tension should be utilized as centrifugal tension. If you pi the angle of friction, then radius friction circle is given by R sin pi. Friction radius for new clutches compared to warm out will be more. For new clutches and brakes, friction radius is equal to 1 by 3 dq plus dq by d square minus d square. For uniform wear condition of brakes and clutches, friction radius is equal to d plus d by 4. The commonly used angle between the cone surface and horizontal axis of cone clutches utilizing leather to obstruct losing elbow 12.5 degrees. In a cone clutch is given torque can be transmitted by a relative small axial force if the cone face angle is less. For flat pivot bearing of radius r, the moment arm frictional force with the assumption of the uniform represent 2r by 3. For black brake, the equivalent coefficient of friction is equal to mu 4 sin theta by 2t plus sin 2 theta. A block breaks the ratio of shoe with the wheel diameter kept between 0.25 to 0.50. The percentage of total brake efforts in the results from self-energizing action depends on all of the above. In order to prevent the brake arm from grabbing, the moment of friction force about the brake arm pivot point should be less than the total required braking efforts. For spur gear, the product of circular pitch and diameter pitch is equal to pi. In an involute gear, the base circle must be under root circle. The part of tooth between the pitch circle and dedendum circle is called flank. A stub tooth in gears is shorter than standard tooth. The minimum number of teeth which can be cut off standard tooth of given pressure angle theta by 2 by sin square theta. Backlash is per gears is the difference between the tooth space of one gear and tooth thickness of the matting gear measured on the pitch circle. In which type of teeth the variation center distance within limits does not affect the velocity ratio of the matting gears is the involute. Which of the following tooth profile can take very heavy load 14.5 full depth involute system? The interface of cycloidal teeth is absent completely. In cycloid gears, the work wasted in a friction will be laced when for given total arc action there is approaches is equal to arc of races. The angle of through which gear turns from the beginning of contact space of teeth up to pitch is called as angle of approach. Lewis equation in gears is used in find this compressive stress in bending. Involute profiles in gears are very popular. Case of the following advantage all of the above. Gear teeth are made harder to avoid wear. Clearance in spur gears is the difference between the dedendum of one gear and dedendum of the matting gear. Meter gears are right angle bevel gears having same number of teeth. For a proper meshing for worm wheel, normal pitch of worm compared to normal pitch of worm wheel should be equal. Low pressure angle gears result in weaker teeth. The wear on gear teeth can be equalized, making the pinion harder than the gear. The following materials give corrosion resistance to gear sets: non-ferrous material. A larger pressure angle in comparison to smaller pressure angle make the gear stronger. Fine pitch involutes for gears are those having diameter pitch greater than 20. The value of form factor used in the design of gear is all of the above. Larger helix angle is opposite hand helical gears result in the both here and behavior. Stub teeth are cut on gears in order to increase capability of withstand shocks and vibrations. If the lead angle of worm is 20 degrees, then helix angle will be 70 degrees. In zero bevel gears, the axis intersect and the teeth are curved and become ground. Compared to the spur gears, helical gears run more smoothly. Two helical gears of the same hand by 45 degrees helix angle are in mesh. The shaft of the two gears would be at following angle each other 90 degrees. The gear reduction of worm gear sets worm gear 50 teeth and worm double lead teeth is 25:1. The following material should be have gears run equally high speed is the non-metallic material. Interface is inherently absent in following type of gear cycloidal. In cycloid gears, the axis non-parallel and non-intersecting and that teeth are curved. The pressure angle is involute to profile gear is often changes. In screw bevel gears, the axle is the non-parallel and non-intersecting and the teeth are straight. Pick up the incorrect statement is the helical gears are used to connect to shaft when axes are inclined by spherical angle of teeth. In helical gears, the right hand helix will mesh left hand helix. In spiral bevel gears, are the axes interact and the teeth are curved the umbilical. If the number of pitch lead angle worm gears is the angle between the dash tangent to the pitch helix and the plane of rotation. Pressure angle in the worm gear is the angle between two inclined faces of axial plane. To keep noise minimum, following type of gear should be used helical. Helix angle in the worm gears is the angle between the tangent to the pitch helix and elements of the pitch cylinder. The type of tooth profile used for gear in watches and clocks is cycloidal. Gears used in a machine tools must have contact ratio is the less than 1.4. The backlash required for spur gears depends upon both moderate and pitch lane velocity. The limiting pitch the velocity of commercial cut gears is cut to 5 meters per second. The maximum pitch lane velocity of hardened steel ground lapped fricative gears is 20 meters per second. For accurate, the gear's operating velocity up to 20 meters velocity factor is equal to 6 by 6 plus V. If both pinion gears are made of the same material, then the load transmission capacity decided by pinion. Best profile of gear withstand resistance to wear 14 and a half full depth involute tooth. Zero axial thrust is experienced in the herringbone gears. Surface endurance limit of gear material is depend on its Brinell hardness number. To avoid interface internal gears, the internal gear is compared to pinion with 14 and a half full height teeth should have the least 12 teeth more. The initial contact is a helical gear is point. In order to realize the advantage of fluid friction, is necessary to have parallel oil film in bearing. Pivoted segment thrust bearing is used in order to provide a converging film of oil. A shaft rotating in anti-clockwise direction at low speed inside the bearing will be towards left side bearing and making metal contact. Okay, thank you. In a anti-clockwise direction at high speed inside a bearing will be towards right side of bearing and making no metal contact. Bearing characteristic number of relating Z absolute viscosity of lubricant, N speed of journal and P bearing pressure on projected bearing area is Zn by P. Which of the following is an anti-friction bearing? Needle bearing. Anti-friction bearing is ball and roller bearings. Which of the following is called divided journal bearings? Plumb or black. Which of the following parameters should be monitored for determining safe operation journal bearing? All of the above. In case of ball bearing, which part is made harder than others? All are made equal hard. Railroad car bearing is a partial journal bearing. In the case of two-cylinder locomotive engines, the crank are located at the following angle to each other 90 degrees. In case of coupled locomotives, the coupling with respect to adjacent driving cranks are located following angle 180 degrees. A suspended body is to be struck heavily without producing any reaction at the support. It should be done the center of precision. The period of corresponding to no movement of cam followers for cam rotation is known as dual. The following type of cam follower is generalized need in automobiles spherical type. In order to minimize jerks, the following type of cam is used to SHM. Which of the following parameters is irrelevant in determining cam size is a pitch circle diameter. Pitch point is the point of cam pitch curve having the maximum pressure angle. The smallest circle drawn to the pitch curve from the center of rotation of the cam is known as prime circle. Following type of cam is used for a high-speed engine cycloidal. Following type of cam is used low and moderate speed engine is the harmonic. Two helical springs of the same material and equal. This is the 2p by 9. Which of the following structural joints is also That is a riveted joint is the strap, a welded joint is the fillet, and a bolted joint is the lock washer, and knuckle joint is the pin. The following figure shows welded joints indicators for the same load and same dimensions of plate and weld. Plate and weld figure better because weld is tension and safe stress of weld in tension is greater than that is shear. When compared to rod of the same diameter and material, a wire rope provided much greater time remedial action before failure. Quarter joint is the four crosshead of a steam engine. A knuckle joint is a diagonal stays in boiler. Suspension link joint is a suspension bridges. Turnbuckle, the tie rod of wall crane. The design calculation for members subject to fluctuating loads with the same factor of safety yield the most conservative estimate when using Soderberg relation. This one is the crankshaft is the converts linear motion into rotary motion. Wire shaft is the transmits motion between shaft where it is not possible to effective resist coupling between them. Next, axle is the supports the revolving parts of the transmitting torque, and the plane shaft is the supports only the revolving parts. Next, interface, minimum number of teeth or pinion, dynamic load on tooth, inaccuracies in tooth profile. Static load is the Lewis equation. Contact ratio is the arc of approach, arc of resistance, circular pitch. Oldham's coupling is the two joints non-collinear shaft and it's adjustable. And flange coupling is the one joint collinear shaft and it's rigid type. And universal coupling is the four compensate peripheral shaft longitudinal and angular shafts of diameter. And friction coupling is the three joints collinear shaft and engages and disengages them during motion. High temperature is the carbon bearing. High load is the hydrodynamic bearing. And no lubricant is the Teflon bearing. And bushings is the sleeve bearing. Parallel shafts with slight offset is the Oldham's coupling. Parallel shafts at a reasonable distance is the belt and pulley, and perpendicular shaft is the worm and wheel, and intersecting shaft is the hooks joint. And wonder of key is the self-aligning, and kinetic key is the heavy duty, feather key is the normal industrial use, and flat key is the loose fitting light duty. Two metal plates of thickness 45 degrees with W pulling force stress induced in the weld F by WT sin 45. It వచ్చేసి 1/8. Centrifugal tension belts in harmful because it increases belt tension and reduces the power transmitted. In a single row, deep groove ball bearing gauges are needed to ensure that the ball do not cluster at one point and maintain proper relative angular position. Thank you.